my grandfather thought I got into a fight once, and wasn't a fight at all. I got TKO'd by a door like you wouldn't believe. Um, I I was such an idiot. Of course, I mean this whole time I've been trying to tell the story for 3 minutes now, and I can't even bridge to get to this part right here. But I remember back in middle school, I was running around the hallways, and I saw one of my friends, and I was gonna like run up and say and just say hello, but I didn't realize that you're in a crowded hallway, whatever, not miss paying attention or whatever. I ran up and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I scared this person so much. They had like their hand on the on the like locker room like locker on their like locker door, like it was partially open, so because they like could reach to like grab it. And I was kind of like running, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they were like, "Oh my goodness!" Slam and kadoosh. And I just the actual like door knob handle part. Some of them have like a little like metal piece where you can lift up, and that like unhooks the locker door. And so that little metal piece hit me, I think, like right here. I don't know if it did. I don't think it like. I don't know if scars heal. But, wow. I mean, but like and it could still be there, like under my eyebrow there. But because I was just gushing blood all down my face, just real bad. And when you try and like play something off like it didn't happen. Because I mean, it hurt for sure. Don't get me wrong, but I still like the bell rang. It was only like I think it was only like a break period, so it was only like 5-10 minutes. And so I had to walk back into class, and like I'm just trying to like hold my face. I don't know. I just was like, maybe no one will notice. I didn't know I was like bleeding like that bad. And so I just try and walk in the class, and all the teacher in the class was, what happened to you? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? What? And they're like, "You're bleeding out of your face." What? What? Oh, yeah. I didn't want to tell anybody what really happened. Embarrassing. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know." And so the teacher like sent me right down to the nurse's office, and they had to call my grandfather. He was like the on the emergency contacts or whatever, to come down. And everybody thought like that I was in a fight, because I was gushing, and I didn't want to tell the story, and I didn't want to say what happened. So I guess that's what they had told my grandfather. And a little background of my grandfather. My grandpa he's a hard ass. I mean, not just a hard, not I don't want to say hard ass, but he is a one tough SOB. I mean, this man was like born and raised like just a working hand, like working, like he comes from like a family that grew up on a farm, and he was like up at the crack of dawn. He's one of those guys that when he like had to walk to school, it was 10 miles up hills both ways in the snow, during during a snowstorm, in the middle of January, -30, with a t-shirt and work pants and boots, like that's like the type of, like, to give you a few, like, and these are real stories of my grandfather, kind of just re-explain how kind of one tough holy crap SOB this guy is. There was one time where he was fixing like his awning in his backyard, and this was, I don't know, he must have been like 65 years old or something like that. He's doing it all by himself, and he was like taking it apart, and one of a nail had like buried through like the wood, so it was sticking out on the other side, and it fell and swung and stabbed him right in the hand. And he of course like removed the nail out of his hand. He was just bleeding. He wrapped a towel in it, and instead of doing, calling anybody for help, he grabbed his keys, went out to his car, stuck his bleeding hand out the window, turned the car on, and drove to the ER, you ask? No, urgent care. Walks in the urgent care with like just all messed up hand and goes, "Hey, can you guys do anything about this?" And urgent care goes, "No, you're bleeding out of your. You need to go to the ER. Like, do you want us to call an ambulance? Like, what are you doing here? You need to go to the ER." And he's like, "Oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just, can I have a few bandages?" Grabs like a few bandages, wraps them around his hand, gets back in his car, puts his hand back out the window, drives over to the ER, and then gets out and goes in, gets his hand fixed. There was another time where he was like out in the garage, and the garage had kind of stacked up with some stuff, and he was trying to like reach in between some boxes to, I don't know, get some tools or something, and he slipped, and when he slipped, he dislocated his shoulder. And so instead of, again, calling for help or doing anything, he sat there for 4 hours with a dislocated shoulder until he was able to reposition himself and pop his shoulder back in, into which point he just walked upstairs and took a nap. What? So this man shows up to pick me up, and he is furious. He thinks I've been in a fight. He's all up in arms. He's like, "Where, you name this kid, you tell me who it was that beat you up. I'm going to talk to their parents or whatever." I mean, he's like, "How dare," he was totally and I was just like, because of course, beginning of the story, it wasn't a fight. I hit in the face with a locker. And by my own accords, and not to make matters worse or anything like that, or take away from the story, but the other thing that I'm missing out, because again, your grandfather, he thought I was in a fight, and he was on board with whatever dude beat me up, like he was not okay with. But it was a female that had hit me in the face with a door. So he is just going off. He's in this big tirade. I can't believe you did. You gotta keep your hands up. I gotta teach you how to fight. And I'm just like, oh my goodness! It wasn't a fight. Like it was a girl, and she, what? I was like, it was a girl. A girl hit me in the face with a locker when I tried running up and saying hello to her. I scared her, and she just swung the door and hit me in the face. And the look on his face was like, "Get in the car, dumbass." He would, all that yelling, just get in the car, dumbass. But anyways, yeah, so, oh boy, not everything is the way you think it is. That's somehow how I got there. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of The Blind Spot. Thank you guys. Talk to you guys all later. Bye. This feeling deep inside of me.